presentation on technology and the role that it plays in the classroom. Technology impacts both the lives of teachers and students in many ways. As technology changes, educators must remain aware of the trends and implement technology in our classrooms as much as possible. Throughout this presentation, we will discuss three overarching topics. The discussions will include an explanation of changes that have stemmed from the advancement of technology in the classroom. It is through this topic that we will discuss societal norms that have changed in connection with technology over the past 20 years. Next, we will talk about the utilization of technology in the classrooms and how to minimize the distractions that technology can cause for our students and ourselves as educators. After, we will look at the risks and benefits that certain technologies can bring to the classroom. The first topic we will explore includes the changes that have stemmed from the advancement and adoption of technology in the classroom. Before we glance at the changes that technology has brought to social norms, let's begin by viewing the changes that have occurred in technology alone. Although the last 20 years have been crucial for technology and changes that have been brought to the classroom, it is important to start in the 1990s because that was the time when computers were beginning to be used heavily in the world of education. Therefore, this slide describes some examples of how technology has changed from the 1990s until now. To begin, let's agree on a working definition of the term social norms. Social norms are described as unwritten rules that tell people how to behave in society. These norms provide us with an expected idea as to how humans should act in specific social group settings or cultural experiences. Examples of social norms include shaking a person's hand when you have just met them, or arriving to your place of work on time and prepared. If we had the opportunity to be a fly on the wall in a classroom 2 decades ago, we would witness different forms and uses of technology than we see in classrooms today. 20 years ago, students took notes off of overhead projectors and watched educational films on large televisions that were rolled in on carts with a VCR attached to them. If images were to be projected, they were printed on transparencies and shown on a screen that pulled down from the ceiling. Students visit computer labs that were located in the heart of the school to work on projects or play educational games. Educators did not have access to portable computers such as laptops, but instead, they had one stationary computer in their classroom that was used for emails, lesson planning, and research. Today, there are a plethora of opportunities that students and teachers can take advantage of when it comes to using technology in the classroom. Teachers, as well as students, use laptops and tablets to take notes and project lessons in class. Game-based learning websites are frequently visited so students can gain valuable academic skills. The internet is readily available and open for public use. This norm allows students and teachers to work from wherever they like or feel most comfortable. Last, applications are continually accessible and provide ways for both students and teachers to communicate with others around the world. Next, we will discuss ways that technology can be utilized as a learning tool in the classroom. There are numerous ways that educators can utilize and implement technology as a tool in the classroom. Educators can introduce interactive sites such as BrainPop, which provides short videos and quizzes about specific topics. Teachers can also show online videos that relate to a topic or lesson that they might be teaching. Last, educators can set up a Google Classroom, which invites collaboration on assignments. As educators, we can ask ourselves, in what ways has technology enhanced student education? Technology has enhanced kindergarten through 12th grade education in numerous ways. Some examples include providing students with digital models and simulations and producing assessments through various online tools. Schools are turning towards problem-based learning, where students are encouraged to teach themselves through solving scenarios on their own and developing extension questions to go along with their findings. Learning with technology is interactive and engaging, which in turn makes learning more fun for all students. The following 3 slides will discuss distractions that technology can cause in the classroom, as well as ways that educators can balance the use of technology and minimize common distractions. Distractions related to technology come in multiple forms. Students can become distracted with apps, social media, and texting, amongst numerous other things. When students use technology in school for both school-related and unrelated purposes, their education suffers as a result. Academic performance becomes lower, and the overall student achievement becomes less than satisfactory. Also, when students are multitasking through the use of electronic devices, the ability for their brain to retain information lessens during lectures or work time. Using technology as a distraction can also inhibit other students and their ability to concentrate. Therefore, teachers must implement ways to limit distractions that technology brings to the classroom. How can educators minimize the distractions and balance the use of technology in the classroom? It is important for educators to keep in mind that our students see us as responsible role models who pave the way for them to have a bright future. It is important, like with all things, that we model how to use technology effectively and appropriately. Teachers should model digital citizenship, as well as show students that having time away from technology can be beneficial. When people use technology, their brains become rewired, which can relate to a distracted brain or memory loss. Educators can balance the use of technology by providing time for students to unplug, giving children distinct times to complete pencil and paper assignments or quietly read will keep their brains sharp and active while they learn. To conclude this presentation, we will talk about the risks and benefits that specific technologies can bring to certain assignments. Technology is a wonderful thing to have in classrooms today. However, with all good things, there are risks involved. Some risks that come with implementing technology in the classroom include the distractions that it could provide students. Also, students could choose to use technology in a negative way by cheating or using information to plagiarize on assignment. Although there are risks with technology, there are also benefits too. Some benefits are that technology can provide teachers and students with instant feedback on assignments or projects. Also, technology is known to be a very engaging tool to use in the classroom, which encourages students' motivation to learn. There are a few informal tools that an educator can use when determining whether or not technology is a good tool to use on specific assignments. One tool I recommend using is a pros and cons chart or a similar T-chart. Through this tool, teachers can jot down all of the risks and benefits that come with using technology on certain assignments, and they are able to visually see which side of the chart outweighs the other. With the assistance of tools, the decision becomes simpler and more straightforward. Thank you for listening to my presentation. If you have any questions or comments, I will now open up the floor to those. Thanks again for being a wonderful audience during my digital presentation about technology and learning.